Hello, this is State Senator Josh McKoon coming to you from the Coverdell Legislative Office Building for another in a series of legislative updates. Today I'll be covering days 35 through 38 of the Georgia General Assembly's 2014 session. On Monday, March the 10th, we came to order for Legislative Day 35. We had a heavy agenda. I want to hit a couple of the highlights for you. House Bill 898 was the Interstate Compact for Juveniles. Most states in the nation, including Georgia, were parties to the original Interstate Compact that was passed back in the 1970s. This simply provides for procedures when dealing with juvenile delinquents across state lines. For example, if you have a delinquent that commits an act in Georgia but they're an Alabama resident and you want to be able to move them over to Alabama, the Interstate Compact governs how all of that works. Georgia had fallen out of compliance with the new version of the compact. 898 updated the law and put us back in the Interstate Compact with the 49 other states that are participating. I was glad to vote for it, and it passed on Monday. House Bill 911 added the offense of strangulation to the definition of aggravated assault. Oftentimes we see victims of domestic violence who are repeatedly victims of strangulation or attempted strangulation, but the available penalties for that crime are all misdemeanor offenses, all less than 12 months in prison, and they invite additional domestic abuse. So Representative Ballinger brought House Bill 911 to add this to a felony offense, which I believe will allow for more serious prosecution of these domestic violence cases, and I was proud to support House Bill 911. Finally, we had a little local bill that we handled, Senate Resolution 1133, where we recognized some excellent students in Muskogee County, both the winner and the first runner-up of the annual spelling bee. I was proud to co-sponsor that with Senator Ed Harbison. We adjourned and came back on Tuesday, March 11th for day 36. Again, a very busy day of considering primarily House bills, but there were a couple that I thought particularly warranted your attention. First, House Bill 153. Many of you are probably familiar with the idea of a special purpose local option sales tax, or SPLOST. Currently, both school districts and cities and counties can propose SPLOST, but they have to be an entire 1% tax. House Bill 153 would allow them to come to you and propose less than 1%, thereby being less of a tax burden on the individual citizens. I was glad to vote for it, and it passed with amendments and went back to the House for additional work. House Bill 790 is a bill that took an awful lot of work, but if you own timberland or you're in the timber business, it's something that would be very interesting to you. It provided additional civil and criminal penalties for unlawful removal of timber. It was something that we worked very closely together between the timber industry, law enforcement, city and county officials to come to an agreement that really does provide owners of timberland with a lot more protection against unlawful removal of their timber. And I was glad to vote for the bill. It had come through Senate Judiciary and it passed and went on to the governor. Finally, again, we had some local activity. My good friend Alton Russell, who's a well-known storyteller, not just in Columbus but around the state, was recognized with Senate Resolution 895 as an official cowboy ambassador and Georgia tale teller. It was a privilege to have Alton in the General Assembly with us on Tuesday, and he regaled everyone with a story from the well that was very well received. And that concluded our business on Tuesday. Wednesday, March the 12th was day 37. We considered House Bill 763, a very important bill for all the branches of Georgia Military College, including their branch in Columbus. It's going to allow them to offer a 4-year degree, a Bachelor of Applied Sciences degree. It's something that's warranted. It's something that's needed. A lot of employers are looking for graduates with this degree, and Georgia Military College has not been allowed to offer any 4-year degrees. House Bill 763 allows them to do that. I was glad to vote for it. Finally, on Wednesday, we had House Bill 1080, which authorizes the construction of a statue of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. on the Capitol grounds. This passed, I believe, with just one negative vote. I was glad to vote for it and be part of this very important milestone to achieve the work of Dr. King right here in his home state of Georgia. And then on Thursday, we came back for our final day of this legislative week, March 13th, day 38. A lot of bills considered. Really the only one of local interest House Bill 742. That bill provides for an additional Superior Court judge in the Coweta Judicial Circuit, which includes Meriwether and Troup counties, which of course are part of District 29. That passed and went on to the governor for his signature. The funding is currently in the budget that we hope will be adopted at the end of the session. And so that will allow us to alleviate the backlog of cases in the Coweta Judicial Circuit. So that's a quick look at this week in the General Assembly. I look forward to coming to you again with my final one of this series that'll cover day 39 and day 40, the final days of the Georgia General Assembly in this year 2014. If you ever have any questions for me about these issues or any other issues, you can find us online at joshmckoon.com, or you can give us a call at 404-463-3931. Thank you for the privilege of serving you, and I look forward to seeing you next time.